Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Duluth, Georgia, Jacksonville, Florida, Los Angeles, Tempe, Arizona, and Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets. You know, the last person who actually spoke like a Democrat in my mind was the 2016 Bernie Sanders campaign. Huh. And then I think, something like 12% of the people who voted for Bernie Sanders then switched over and voted for Trump because workers have nowhere to go. We have two parties. Well, right now, I remember I brought a Boogaloo Boy on my show to interview him because it turned out we agreed on a lot of things. We agreed on the economy. We were both anti-Trump. We were both anti-police brutality. We're both anti-war. They were pro Black Lives Matter. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wow, that's 5 out of 10 of the top issues. And the dirty secret is that those guys used to be voting Democrat 25 years ago. And that's what they don't want you to talk about. And right now, RFK just, I heard him say that the people who voted for Biden own 71% or 70% of the country's wealth, and the people who voted for Trump own 30% of the country's wealth. So there's been a complete shift in the parties, and I think that what has gotten the it's the demographics of the Democratic Party, as Chuck Schumer said in 2016. Yeah, we're going to lose blue-collar voters, but for every blue-collar voter we lose, we're going to gain a white-collar suburban voter, and you can repeat that in Ohio and Wisconsin and Michigan. He said that. He was wrong about that because Hillary Clinton lost to Donald Trump. But that's the thinking of the Democratic Party now. It's all about the donor class. It's all about white suburban liberals. It's not about the working class, and the working class doesn't really have anywhere to go, so a lot of them gravitate towards the populist language of Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is an outsider inside the Republican Party for sure. That's why that's why they did Russiagate. That's why they impeached him twice. That's why they did January 6th, which I firmly believe is an FBI psyop. And not only they do it there, they did it in Brazil to Bolsonaro. It's the same playbook to try to criminalize someone who the establishment can't control fully. And then they tried to assassinate him. So you can't deny that the deep state, somebody's got a problem with Donald Trump inside the establishment, right? So I'm not saying that doesn't make me a Donald Trump supporter, but that makes me, I'm just doing what a reporter does, stick my head down the street and report back what I see. I see them doing Russiagate. That's the intelligence community, the media, and the Democratic Party and the Republican establishment. And then they impeached him. And then they tried to assassinate him, and they're doing lawfare against him, right? So the establishment doesn't like him, and I'm just reporting that back. And now Donald Trump is running to the left of Kamala Harris on several issues, one of them being war, another one being our captured regulatory agencies, another one is cleaning up our food supply, another one is fighting big agribusiness. I mean, and people go, well, do you really think that Donald Trump is going to do those things? I go, it's not him. It doesn't matter if I think Donald Trump is going to do those things. What's important is that when he says those things in front of a stadium full of Republican voters, they cheer for those things. Right. So that's what the establishment really fears, is people like me, populist left, coming together with the populist right, because we agree on so many things. And they can't, that's why they have to keep us, this is my theory, that's why they have to keep us divided and siloed. And that's why we talk about bathrooms and trans issues, things that only, apply to the most minuscule percentage of the population, and they become the issue of the day because they want us to think there's a white supremacist around every corner and a Nazi under every bed, and they want us to fear our neighbor, because if we come together on the things that we actually agree on, that will be a threat to the oligarchy. That's what I think, and that's how I think they got the Democrats to go along with censorship, because they're convinced they're fighting Hitler.
Right. Yes. And I think what they're really worried about, if you go back, I think all those things you said are absolutely true. 2016, Donald Trump gets elected, and how does he get elected? He gets elected in the face of total disapproval by all the institutions in America, but he has a Twitter account that's very popular, And despite the fact that everybody in the news media, and I was there, I was like covering him, traveling him around with all those reporters, everybody was trying to deal the fatal blow to the Donald Trump campaign from the very beginning. And he succeeded anyway, because the internet allows you to just bypass all the institutional gatekeepers and safeguards. I think once they saw that and they saw Brexit, that's when they decided, well, okay, well, we have to find a way to get this whole thing under control, because we can't have people, the rabble making these sorts of consequential decisions without our guidance, right? And that, I think, was what we found mostly in the Twitter files, was sort of the architecture of how they went about fulfilling that decision, and getting the internet under control. And now we're in this incredible moment where, X is being banned in Brazil, and Pavel Durov is arrested in France, and all this stuff. This is like, DEFCON 1 kind of moment for speech, I think.
Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Duluth, Georgia, Jacksonville, Florida, Los Angeles, Tempe, Arizona, and Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets.